The rain pounded against the windows of the old Brooklyn brownstone as I stared at my best friend Emily. Her eyes glazed from too many shots at the office party. In a blur of slurred words, she grabbed my hand and whispered, "Alex, I've loved you since college. Not as friends but more." My heart stopped, the room spun, and in that instant, our unbreakable bond cracked wide open, exposing secrets I buried deep to survive in a world that demanded conformity. I pulled away, my pulse racing, pretending it was the alcohol talking. But Emily's face crumpled, her usual confident facade shattering like glass. We'd been inseparable since freshman year at NYU, navigating the cutthroat world of corporate law together. She was the golden girl from a conservative Connecticut family, poised, ambitious, engaged to her high school sweetheart, Mark, a rising star in finance. Me? I was Alex Rivera, the scrappy Latina from Queens, openly queer since I was 16, fighting tooth and nail against the judgments that came with it. Our friendship was my anchor in a sea of prejudice, but now it felt like a storm brewing. That night I drove her home in silence, the wipers slicing through the downpour like accusations. "Forget it," I muttered as I helped her into bed. But she clutched my arm, sober enough to plead. "Don't. It's real, Alex. I've been hiding it for years." I fled to my tiny apartment in Williamsburg, collapsing on the couch with a bottle of cheap whiskey. How could she drop this bomb now? Emily knew my history. The ex who left me because her family couldn't handle the gay thing. The job interviews where I toned down my identity to fit in. And her? She was straight as an arrow, or so I'd thought. The next morning my phone buzzed with her frantic texts. "I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. We need to talk." I ignored them at first, burying myself in case files at the firm. But by noon, guilt gnawed at me. Emily showed up at my desk looking wrecked, her makeup flawless but her eyes red-rimmed. "Alex, last night. I meant it," she said in a hushed voice, glancing around the open-plan office. Colleagues milled about, oblivious to the earthquake under our feet. I dragged her to the conference room, locking the door. "What the hell, Em? You're engaged. Your family's planning the wedding of the century. This isn't some rom-com. This is real life." She paced, her heels clicking like a ticking bomb. "I know. But being with Mark. It's safe. It's what they expect. Dad's a senator, for God's sake. Mom's on every charity board in Greenwich. If they knew." Her voice broke. I wanted to shake her, to scream that love wasn't a performance. But deep down I felt a spark. The same one I'd crushed years ago when I realized my feelings for her were more than platonic. "This changes everything," I said, my voice steady despite the chaos inside. "You can't just say that and expect us to go back." We agreed to meet after work at our favorite dive bar in the East Village, a place where the dim lights hid secrets. As I waited, nursing a beer, my mind raced through the what-ifs. What if she was serious? What if this ruined our friendship? What if her family found out and dragged her back into their perfect mold? Emily arrived, composed but tense, sliding into the booth opposite me. "I've been in therapy for months," she confessed, "trying to figure out why I feel so empty." "It's you, Alex. It's always been you." I leaned forward, my heart pounding. "And Mark? The ring on your finger?" She twisted it nervously. "He's good, but it's not passion. Not like what I feel when I'm with you." The words hung heavy, laced with the weight of betrayal. Mark was a decent guy. He'd proposed last Christmas in front of her family, all cheers and champagne. Now she was willing to torch it all? "This isn't fair to him," I said. "Or to us. What about your parents? They disown you." Her laugh was bitter. "They already control everything. College major, career, even my wardrobe. Coming out. That would be suicide." I reached across the table, my hand brushing hers, electric, forbidden. But I pulled back. "Then why tell me? Why now?" Tears welled in her eyes. "Because I can't pretend anymore. Seeing you date that artist last year. It killed me." "Jealousy? From Emily?" The revelation twisted like a knife. We talked for hours, dissecting our shared history. Late-night study sessions that felt like dates, vacations where we'd share a bed platonically. Or so I'd convinced myself. As we left the bar, the city lights blurred in the mist, mirroring my confusion. "Give me time," I said. But inside, a war raged. Protect her from the fallout, or risk everything for a chance at truth. Little did I know this confession was just the spark. The fire would soon consume us both. The days blurred into a tense standoff. At work, we avoided each other, exchanging polite nods in meetings while our eyes screamed unspoken words. Emily threw herself into wedding planning, posting engagement photos on Instagram that made my stomach churn. Her family descended on the city for fittings and tastings, her mother gushing about the venue, a historic estate in the Hamptons. I watched from afar, jealousy mixing with fear. What if she chose safety over us? Then came the call from her father, Senator Harlan. "Alexandra, we need to talk about Emily." His voice boomed over the phone. My blood ran cold. Had she told him? No, it was worse. He suspected her distraction at work and wanted me to keep an eye on her. The irony burned. I agreed, hanging up with a knot in my gut. That night, Emily snuck over to my place, her face pale. "Dad's pushing the wedding date up. Says it's good for his re-election campaign." We sat on my fire escape, the Brooklyn skyline mocking our turmoil. "I can't do it," she whispered. "But leaving Mark, it'd destroy him." Our first kiss happened there, under the stars, tentative, charged with years of denial. It was a decision, a line crossed. But the high crashed fast. Mark called her mid-kiss, his voice cheerful through the speaker. Emily answered, lying smoothly about girls' night. Guilt etched her features as she hung up. "This is wrong," I said, pulling away. "We're hurting people." She nodded, but her hand stayed in mine. The conflict tore at us. Loyalty versus desire, family versus self. Weeks passed in stolen moments. Coffee runs that lingered too long. Texts coded in friendship. But cracks showed. Emily's mother noticed her distance, grilling her over brunch. "Is there someone else?" The question hung like a guillotine. Emily denied it, but the seed was planted. At work, rumors swirled. A colleague saw us leaving together, eyebrows raised. My boss pulled me aside. "Keep personal drama out of the office." The pressure built, a dam ready to burst. One evening, Emily showed up at my door, suitcase in hand. I told Mark, "It's over." Shock hit me like a wave. She'd chosen, but at what cost? He was devastated, calling her family in tears. Senator Harlan exploded, cutting off her trust fund, demanding she fix this. Her mother wept, accusing her of selfishness. Emily crumbled in my arms, the weight of their disapproval crushing her spirit. "Was it worth it?" she sobbed. I held her, whispering assurances, but doubt crept in. Had I pushed her? Was this love or rebellion? As we navigated the fallout, society's whispers grew louder. Friends divided. Some supported, others ghosted. My own family, supportive but wary, warned of the backlash. "Mija, her world's not like ours," my mom said. Emily's therapy sessions intensified, unpacking layers of internalized shame. We fought about hiding about the future. "I can't be your secret," I yelled one night. She stormed out, only to return hours later, apologetic. Each reconciliation cost a piece of us. The turning point came at a firm event, where Senator Harlan cornered me. "Stay away from my daughter," he hissed. "You're poisoning her." Rage boiled over. "She's choosing herself," I shot back. Emily overheard, her face ashen. That night she made a call. Therapy for us both, a step toward authenticity. But the damage lingered, scars from choices that redefined us. The scandal erupted like wildfire in dry grass. Emily's breakup with Mark hit the tabloids. Senator's daughter dumps fiancé amid rumors. Whispers turned to shouts. Anonymous sources pointed fingers at me, the influential friend. Social media exploded with speculation. Hashtags like Harlan family drama trending. Emily's phone rang nonstop. Reporters, relatives, even old classmates. She silenced it, curling into a ball on my couch. "This is my fault," she murmured. "I should have stayed quiet." I paced the room, fury simmering. "No, it's theirs. Forcing you into a box." But deep down, fear gnawed. Would she regret this? We decided to lay low, holing up in my apartment like fugitives. Groceries delivered, blinds drawn. In those confined days, our relationship deepened. Conversations peeling back layers of pain. Emily shared childhood memories. Sunday church services where traditional values were drilled in. The debutante ball where she first felt out of place. I kissed a girl at summer camp once, she admitted. Dad found out, sent me to counseling. The revelation stung. She'd carried this alone. My own wounds resurfaced. Growing up in Queens, I'd faced slurs in school. My coming out met with my abuela's tears. Dios mío, Alexandra, she'd said. But she'd come around, unlike Emily's family. We made love tender, emotional, a affirmation amid chaos. But mornings brought reality. Job security teetered, clients whispering about distractions. My boss suggested a leave. I refused, doubling down on work to prove my worth. Emily's mother arrived unannounced, banging on the door. Open up, Emily. This nonsense ends now. We froze. Emily opened it a crack, her voice trembling. Mom, please. Mrs. Harlan pushed in, eyes blazing. You're throwing away your life for this. She gestured at me disdainfully. Think of your father's career. The family name. Emily stood tall. It's my life. The argument escalated, accusations flying. Manipulation, rebellion. Mrs. Harlan left in tears, vowing to save her daughter. The betrayal cut deep. Emily withdrew, second-guessing everything. Maybe she's right, she whispered one night. What if I'm just confused? Doubt poisoned us. I snapped. If you believe that, go back. She didn't, but the rift grew. Therapy helped our counselor, a no-nonsense woman in Midtown, unpack the societal pressures. Coming out isn't linear, she said. It's a battle. Emily nodded, but the sessions unearthed more. Her fear of abandonment, my trust issues from past heartbreaks. Society's judgment amplified. At a queer bar in the village we sought solace, but even there stares followed. Isn't that the senator's kid? Friends pulled away. One, a mutual from college, texted. This is too messy for me. Isolation set in, our world shrinking to each other. Yet, in vulnerability, strength emerged. Emily started journaling, processing the mauled ethics of her choices. Betraying Mark for truth, defying family for love. A breaking point loomed. Senator Harlan called a press conference, denouncing influences on his daughter without naming names. The media frenzy intensified. Paparazzi camped outside my building. Emily cracked, packing a bag. I need space, she said, eyes averted. Panic surged. Don't run. But she left for a hotel, leaving me alone with echoes of our fights. Days dragged. I threw myself into pro bono work for LGBTQ+ rights, channeling pain into purpose. Calls from Emily came sporadically, tearful, conflicted. I miss you, but the pressure. Her family lured her back with promises. Therapy, their version. Reconciliation with Mark. Temptation tugged. Safety versus authenticity. Then the ultimate test. Emily's cousin's wedding in Connecticut. She invited me as a friend, a compromise. I agreed, steeling myself. The estate buzzed with old money, judgmental eyes pierced. Senator Harlan pulled Emily aside, his voice low but audible. End this farce or you're cut off for good. She returned shaken. During the reception, Mark approached, pleading. We can fix this. Emily hesitated, glancing at me across the room. In that moment, decision crystallized. She crossed to me, taking my hand publicly. Gasps rippled. I'm with Alex, she announced. Chaos ensued. Harlan's fury, Mrs. Harlan's sobs. We fled, driving back to the city in silence. No turning back, she said. Relief washed over me, but the cost tallied. Lost alliances, fractured family. Healing began slowly. Emily sought independence, applying for jobs outside her father's influence. We moved to a new apartment in Harlem. A fresh start. But shadows lingered, anonymous hate mail, online trolls. Therapy continued, addressing the moral quandaries. Was her coming out selfish? Did love justify pain inflicted? One night, over dinner, Emily proposed a trip to California, away from it all. To rebuild, she said. I agreed, hope flickering. But en route to the airport, a call from her mother. Your father's had a heart attack. Come home. Guilt crashed down. Emily boarded a plane alone, leaving me wondering if family bonds would pull her under. The hospital in Greenwich loomed like a judgment hall, sterile halls echoing with beeps and whispers. Emily rushed in, finding her father pale in bed, hooked to machines. "Daddy," she choked. He squeezed her hand weakly. "Glad you're here, kiddo." But his eyes held accusation. Mrs. Harlan hovered, shooting me a glare when I arrived later. Emily had insisted. "This stress caused it," she hissed outside the room. "Your choices." Emily faltered, the weight of causation crushing her. "Maybe if I'd stayed with Mark." I pulled her into a hug. "No. His health isn't on you." But doubt seeded. Doctors cited years of high blood pressure, campaign stress, not directly her fault, but the timing screamed correlation. Family gathered. Aunts, uncles, all conservative pillars, murmuring about lifestyle changes. Emily endured their lectures, nodding to keep peace. Back in the city, isolation deepened. Emily spent days commuting to the hospital, torn between duty and us. "They need me," she said, exhausted. I nodded, but resentment brewed. Why sacrifice our peace for their approval? Fights erupted. "You're choosing them." I'd yell. "I'm trying to balance," she'd retort. The moral tightrope frayed. Filial piety versus self-fulfillment. A pivotal moment came during a family meeting at the Harlan estate. Senator recovered enough to chair it, demanding Emily reconsider her path. Mark was there, forgiven apparently. "We can start over," he offered. Emily glanced at me, seated awkwardly in the corner. "No," she said firmly. "I'm gay. I'm with Alex." Silence detonated into uproar. Harlan slammed his fist. "This is unnatural. Think of the voters." Her mother wept. "We raised you better." Emily stood her ground, but the toll showed tremors in her hands, sleepless nights. We left amid disownment threats. On the drive back, she broke down. I hurt them so much. I comforted her, but inside, anger at society's rigid norms boiled. Why must love conform? Repercussions rippled. Emily's job offers dried up. Whispers of nepotism reversed. She took a barista gig in Brooklyn, a humbling fall from grace. "This is the price," she said bitterly. I supported us on my salary, but strain mounted. Friends from her old life vanished. Mine rallied, but it wasn't enough. Therapy delved deeper. Her internalized homophobia, my fear of abandonment. A betrayal blindsided us. Emily's best friend from childhood, Sarah, leaked private texts to the press, admissions of doubt, moments of weakness. Headlines screamed. Harlan heiress questions her face. Emily shattered, trust eviscerated. How could she? We confronted Sarah, who spat. "You're destroying your family for a fling." The wound festered. Emily withdrew further. In desperation, we attended a support group for queer women in Manhattan. Stories mirrored ours. Family rejection, societal backlash. One woman shared losing custody of her kids. Another, her job. Emily spoke tentatively. "I chose love, but the cost." Empathy flowed, a bomb. Bonds formed. Slowly, a community emerged. Yet, conflict persisted. Emily's father recovered, but relations iced over. An olive branch came. An invitation to Thanksgiving. "No +1, the note read. Emily agonized, go alone or boycott. "It's a test," I said. She went, hoping for reconciliation. Returned devastated. They pretended nothing happened, but the judgment. Mark was there, engaged to someone new, a jab. The decision haunted. Had she traded family for fleeting happiness? We argued fiercely. "Regret it?" I asked. "Sometimes," she admitted. The honesty stung but sparked growth. Emily started volunteering at an LGBTQ+ center, channeling pain into advocacy. If I can help one person. Purpose ignited. Highs mixed with lows. Our first anniversary, quiet dinner in Central Park, toasts to survival. But shadows loomed. A job loss for me. Restructuring, masking bias. We downsized, resilience tested. Moral debates raged. Is authenticity worth isolation? Does society evolve or crush? A turning point. Emily's op-ed in a local paper. Coming out in a political family. Vulnerable, raw. Responses poured, support, hate. Her father called. "Proud of your writing, not your choices." A crack in the armor? Hope flickered. But betrayal struck again. An uncle business ties to my firm pressured my boss. Fire her. I quit preemptively, rage fueling a lawsuit threat. Emily blamed herself. My family's vendetta. We moved west to Chicago temporarily, seeking distance. New city, new jobs, Emily in nonprofits, me freelancing. Fresh air but roots severed. Chicago's wind whipped through the streets, a metaphor for our uprooted lives. We settled in a modest Lakeview apartment, the queer-friendly neighborhood a tentative haven. Emily threw herself into work at a women's shelter, counseling those fleeing abusive homes, mirroring her emotional escape. Helping them heals me, she said. I consulted for law firms remotely, building a network free from Harlan shadows. But distance didn't erase scars. Nightly calls to her mother ended in tears, pleas for understanding unmet. Internal conflicts intensified. Emily dreamed of her old life gala's security. Do I miss it? She confessed in therapy. Parts yes. I felt inadequate. Could I provide that stability? Doubts festered. A fight exploded over finances. We're struggling because of you. I lashed out. She recoiled. Because I chose us. Reconciliation came slow. Apologies whispered in the dark. Society's gaze followed. A viral video from the op-ed backlash. Protesters at her workplace, signs blaring family first. Emily stood firm but fear crept in. What if they target you? We installed security, paranoia a new companion. Moral quandaries deepened. Does visibility justify risk? Is silence complicity? A surprise visit from my family bridged gaps. Mom and Abuela flew in, enveloping Emily in hugs. Bienvenida, mija, Abuela said, accepting. Tears flowed. Contrast to Harlan's stung. Why can't mine be like this? Emily asked. The warmth bolstered us but highlighted losses. Betrayal reared. An ex of mine jealous spread rumors online. Alex manipulated her. Trolls amplified, doxing our address. We fled to a hotel, stress fracturing. Emily snapped. This life's too hard. I feared the end but she stayed, commitment tested. Awakening dawned through activism. Emily spoke at a pride event, story resonating. Applause healed wounds. I'm not alone, she realized. Connections formed. Mentors, allies. Strength grew. She pursued a master's in social work, purpose solidified. Family thawed incrementally. A birthday card from her father. Thinking of you. No mention of me but progress. Emily visited alone, boundaries set. Returned hopeful. He asked about my work. Glimmers of acceptance. But high stakes loomed. Senator Harlan's re-election campaign heated. Opponents used Emily's story as ammunition. Failed family man. Guilt resurfaced. My truth hurts his career. We debated ethics. Personal freedom versus collateral damage. A climactic confrontation. Harlan invited us to dinner. We went armored in resolve. Tense pleasantries, then the heart. I don't understand but I love you, he admitted gruffly. Mrs. Harlan nodded tearfully. Not full embrace but a start. Emily wept in relief. Back home reflection. Choices prices paid in full. We emerged stronger but forever changed. Innocence lost to battles fought. As winter blanketed Chicago, our lives stabilized into a new normal. Emily's degree progressed. My career rebounded with a position at a progressive firm. We hosted friends, a chosen family. Laughter echoing off walls once silent with tension. But echoes of past damages lingered. Therapy sessions unpacked residual trauma. The what-ifs of roads not taken. Emily reconnected sporadically with old allies, some apologetic, others lost forever. Mark reached out. Happy for you. Closure mended a thread. Her family's olive branches grew. Holidays included me tentatively, conversations skirting but not avoiding our reality. Society evolved in fits. Pride parades swelled, laws shifted. Emily's advocacy amplified voices, her story inspiring. Yet backlash persisted, a reminder of unfinished fights. In quiet moments we reflected on the journey. Confessions that sparked chaos, decisions that demanded sacrifice. Love endured, forged in fire. But was the pain justified? Did personal truth outweigh the collective hurt inflicted on families and futures?